Hi, Kieran here again. This is a reply video to GataAgressiva. I'm not sure if that is your exact YouTube name. I forget if there's some numbers after that. Hi Gata. I really like your videos. You're always find your videos really thought-provoking. You're pretty different to most of the other vloggers that I follow. So I don't 100% agree with all the stuff you say, but I certainly think it's always food for thought. Okay, a case in point is this video of yours, which was, again, I forget the exact title. I think it's something like Teal Scott and BET, and I think something else in the title of your video, but I forget what now. Yeah, it was an interesting video of yours, and I don't quite agree with the points you make, but I think hopefully I can constructively disagree with you, and I'm certainly, I hope, totally on board with your hopes for a better world. I mean, you haven't quite spelt it out in detail, your kind of dreams for the world, but I assume you want to see a world with racial equality and racial harmony. I think most of us hopefully want that. Anyway, to the details. Okay, you were responding to someone called Teal Scott, who is a some sort of self-help kind of thinker on the internet. I don't know much about her, to be honest. I did check out her video that you referred to, but unfortunately it was 2 hours long, so I didn't really stick with it. So I'm not quite getting the context really of what you've said here, but taking your kind of your summary of what she said. You took issue with 2 points. One was she was saying that she, as a white person, doesn't feel any guilt or shouldn't feel any guilt for things like slavery that her race has done against another race in the past. And the other point she made was that this TV station, which I hadn't heard of before, but has existed for some decades, called BET, or Black Entertainment Television. She was saying that is, well, she was being negative about that in some way. I think you were saying that she thought it was kind of forging this kind of black identity, which is also tied up with kind of victimhood and not a positive thing. I think I broadly agree with what Teal seems to have been saying. Okay, on the first point, in terms of these things like slavery in the past, whether white people should feel guilty for that. I mean, I agree. I think that white people shouldn't really feel guilty for things that happened before they were born. I don't think they can be held they're not responsible for these things. Nobody can be responsible for something they did before they're born. Not they did, sorry, that any of the other people who happen to be of the same race as them did before they were born. And the point you make that white people of today might be benefiting, or you claim they are benefiting from things like slavery. I still think that even if you do benefit from something that happened before your birth, you are not responsible for that thing that happened. For example, if I went to Egypt and was enjoying looking at the pyramids, that wouldn't make me responsible for the slave labor that went into the pyramids. I mean, the pyramids are just there now for us to enjoy, and there's nothing we can do about the slavery that went into them. A specific point about guilt as well. And these people are not responsible for slavery, these white people of today. But also I have a slight issue with guilt. I mean, I can't kind of prove what I'm saying here, but I kind of try to forge change through positive emotions or more pleasant emotions. I feel that if you run a kind of guilt trip on people, that might do some good. They might do what you're hoping them for. The guilt might do some good work, but I feel, and this is more of a matter of faith than knowledge on my part, but I feel that negative emotion is going to come out somewhere else as a kind of hostility in some way, or maybe to themselves. I'd rather try to do it in a positive way. For example, I'm a vegetarian, and I try not to pull a kind of attempted guilt trip on meat eaters. I'd rather probably try and praise them for some positive thing that they do that I'm not doing, and just tell them that I'm a vegetarian and give the arguments kind of dispassionately. That's my kind of angle on guilt. I think the point about white privilege is that it's a bad thing in itself. I agree that there is white privilege in the sense that it's more of a statistical thing than one that holds true in every case. But like basically, if you're born white, you're more likely to be rich. You're more likely to be powerful. You're more likely to be in a position of authority over someone of the other race. I mean, obviously there are counterexamples. There are black people who are bosses of white people and so on. But statistically, yes, white is kind of privileged. And the point about that is not how it came about. It's that it's a bad thing in itself. I think it'd be a better world if we didn't have privilege, really. I mean, whatever race you are, being born better off isn't a good thing. It's something we, as a society, we don't. It's going to happen sometimes to some degree, but we want to try and minimize or eliminate if we can. Even if the privilege came about through a kind of positive acts, for example, imagine like the grandchildren of Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, they might enjoy privilege. The people would think that they've got great karma, or they might think that they must be, something must have rubbed off on them to make them kind of really cool, moral people like their grandfather. That would be an example of privilege. I mean, that would be unfair, but it's come about because of good works. Let's say this, all the good ideas of this person. So yeah, that's privilege. Okay, so the other point, the one about black entertainment television, I kind of think that if you are trying to make the world a better place, then I'm actually for this kind of Gandhi kind of idea. I don't know much about Gandhi, but I think this idea did come from him, or he was famously sort of said it. It's like, be the change you want to see. I think any kind of activists who want to make the world racially more harmonious or have more racial equality should try and embody that in their organization. And I think the world that I certainly want to see in terms of race, I think perhaps you would agree with me, is one of a high level of integration where race isn't a big deal to us. I mean, it obviously is an issue we can talk about once in a while, but 90% of the time it's something we shouldn't be sort of really worrying about. We should be just treating each other as human beings. So to create a TV channel or a group to try and promote this, move us towards that kind of better world, the channel should be more one of which doesn't focus on one race. It's more about sort of reflecting the racial diversity of the society. To be honest with you, I don't know enough facts about this to talk that much. I mean, I'm not sure if black entertainment television has got programs with like wall-to-wall black people. I mean, there are a lot of white people on there as well. I also don't know if I understand that there are about 12% of the population of the USA is black. I don't know whether mainstream American TV actually has 12% of people being black or less or more. Don't actually know. Presuming there are less than 12% of people being black on mainstream American television, I think the way forward would, in my view, to be create a television station which tries to have at least 12% people being black, or maybe somewhere between 12% and 50% of people being. Okay, sorry, my camera ran out of batteries there. Yeah, as I was saying, I think it would be an inspiration to society if you have a TV channel which is kind of as a representative proportion of black people and white people working in both in front and behind the cameras and on the ownership side of the channel, and that would be inspiring to white people and black people. I can understand why black people might want to form groups on their own and make TV channels that are just for their community, because obviously with the kind of wealth and the greater numbers of white people mixing up with white people can often mean that the black voice gets sort of silenced. With white people being richer and stuff, it's not always a lot of fun to sort of integrate if you're going to be dominated. So I'm saying it's a kind of kind of integrated group or a TV channel or enterprise of any kind. It's really got to have ground rules that it isn't going to be dominated by white people, it isn't going to be dominated by wealth, and it's going to be the white people are working towards equality. They're not just kind of integrating and not willing to sort of yield their kind of privileges. It's got to be a process where we work towards eliminating those privileges. Anyway, you praised Teal Scott for contributing to the debate, and I hope you like my video here and you find it an honest contribution to the debate. All the best.